Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing really great. This is your 2022 love reading. For those of you who weren't aware, I already did the normal 2022 readings, the general ones. They ended up kind of being a bit like major events in 2022 to look out for kind of thing. So if you're interested, those are all up right now. And for those who have already watched, you'll notice this is a slightly different format in that I'm going to be drawing a card for each month. And then I also use the bottom of the deck and the middle of the deck. And I'll show you what I mean when I get there, because for these ones I kind of cut the deck and draw cards. But yeah, I hope 2022 is treating you well so far. It's been much better for me than it has been in recent years, which is really good, but I mean, I'm recording this on the 5th, so yeah, it is what it is, but we'll see. For Sagittarius, for 2022 in love, just really quick here, and for those of you who are interested, I am using a different deck. It's called the Weaver Tarot, and it's done by Threads of Fate. This is the Journeyer edition, and I honestly find it to be super, super beautiful. So, yeah, look them up if you want this deck for yourself, if you want to look at their other decks. Yeah, I am in no way affiliated with them. I just think they're beautiful. Like, beautiful cards. But, Sagittarius, where am I cutting the deck for you? About there. Okay. Now, this is what I mean when I say I use the middle of the deck. This card is the middle for me, but we're going to do the rest of your months first and then circle back around. So we've got January, February, March, April, May, June. This is already an interesting looking year. July, August, September, October, November, and December. Very interesting indeed. Bottom of the deck, you have Ruler of Cups, and in this deck, that is the King of Cups. Middle of the deck was Seven of Swords. So this card, the middle card, to me is kind of like a driving force energy, sort of. In that, like, if the bottom of the deck is kind of the heart of the matter of things, like the foundation of things, this is kind of the driving force energy. So your middle card here is the Seven of Swords, which is an interesting driving force, not gonna lie. So it's almost as though shady behavior, like lying, cheating, stealing, that sort of thing, is almost making you want to be a better person, is what I feel. It could be past experiences from you or to you, things like that. You would know best. But let's get into this. We have for January, Six of Cups. It's an interesting way to start the year, don't you think? Because it's like nostalgia. To me, it's often a card of our comfort zone as well. It doesn't... I'm gonna have to pull some cards on it, because it does in some cases feel like a person returning back to your life, but mostly it just kind of feels like taking the time cultivating a comfort zone if you've recently been forced out of one. That's what I just heard. But let's see, what is this Six of Cups for Sagittarius for January? If it's not a person, it feels like a past energy for sure. We've got the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, and underneath that was Ten of Swords. So it's like something's coming back around from an ending. The cards that came out are the Chariot, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Cups. So it was something that left you in not really a great space. It almost as though it left you feeling stuck. It left you a little sad, a little depressed, and with a lot of regret and hurt feelings. For some of you, it almost feels as though that's coming back around. For others of you, it almost feels as though you're leaving it. And I say that because there are two horses here, two different colors. They can go either direction, right? This person doesn't actually look like they're holding any reins. They're just along for the ride kind of energy. So yeah, this could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could just be feelings, seasonal depression even. I know it's cold and dreary and the sky hasn't really looked blue for days here. It's just kind of like a white, a lot of snow, a lot of blowing snow. It's kind of, yeah. So I can understand that too. What we have for February is the moon. So it's highlighting the High Priestess energy we had at the bottom of the deck for January, with intuition and listening to your intuition, following your gut. But it also has a feeling of sinking into emotion, just sinking down into the darker depths of things and like looking up and hoping to see light is what I'm feeling, which is a very interesting energy. It's sorry, my left eye has started itching and kind of burning, so maybe someone watching is also experiencing this issue and that's what's coming through. So if that's you, maybe pay attention. Ooh. It almost feels dry, like I need eye drops. Like I've been crying for a long time. And I have not. Today's been a fairly decent day. So, yeah, that's coming through for someone. But, yeah, I get like a sinking feeling almost, which it does lead into March, which is the devil. Now, this could mean you're dealing with a Capricorn, or this could just be someone embodying devil tendencies or attributes. It could be sinking into drink or other addictions, other obsessions, stuff like that. Like however things like that manifest for you. I'm feeling a little like nervous. I'm just over here, just like grabbing my own arm, just kind of like. It's almost like I'm trying to get the energy off of me, which is kind of what I'm pulling from you. And the way it leads into here, that makes sense because April is the Eight of Cups. It is a leaving energy. It's leaving these things behind, which is good. But I want to clarify this Devil card specifically. It's almost as though, like, if this is another person's energy, they've got you sunk quite low and quite deep within your own head, I feel. Death, rebirth at the bottom of the deck. We got a few cards that came out here. Five of Wands, Three of Wands, it's kind of like someone's making you compete for their attention. Saying, well, if you do this, we'll be together in the future. If you can just do this for me, prove to me this, prove to me that kind of thing. Which is not really an energy I'm fond of, but it is what's coming through. So it's kind of just like you're trying, you're putting a lot of heart, you're putting a lot of spirit into this. You're trying to be creative, just be like, well, if they don't like this, maybe they'll like this. And there's so many wands coming through here that I'm almost surprised it hasn't led to like a 10 of Wands coming out either, because the more passion that you put into something that isn't really serving you, the more likely you are to get burnt out, right? So then at the end of all those cards, there's the Fool and the Two of Pentacles. And while the Fool does often represent like a new beginning and stepping forward into a new adventure, right? I'm also kind of getting a feeling of like this back and forth with this Two of Pentacles. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Kind of thing. But also kind of a feeling with, am I being a fool? Am I being a little naive? Am I letting this person take advantage of me? And it almost feels like the more you consider, the more you sink into this moon energy and listen to whatever emotions are coming through, the more you're kind of leaning towards just letting yourself fall out of things, right? Just letting yourself fall out and move forward. And that's probably where that Death card comes in. Seriously, my eye is just, oh, it's kind of burning like right in the corner, which is really weird. It did not start until I opened up these cards and started this reading. So it's something in your energy, Sagittarius. Oh. Okay. Now, as I said, we do have April being the Eight of Cups. It is a leaving. It's moving forward. It's leaving behind everything that doesn't serve you. And usually what that means is just dropping all of the cups and walking towards the sun, walking towards your own happiness, which I think is really good in this instance where in May you do have the sun. So it's kind of like this leaving energy is bringing you happiness. I'm just feeling like pulled out of the water kind of energy, letting it dry you off, letting it warm your skin kind of energy, which is really nice. Although I'm back now that I don't have cards in my hands, I'm back messing with my arm again. So it's just kind of like, there's still a little anxiety. There's still a little, I feel, dealing with the past energy. Because with that Devil card, it does seem like it's got quite a hold on you. Kind of like it doesn't want you to move forward, but you're pulling through anyway and doing it. And in June, I still see that continuing. The Sovereign of Coins, sovereigns in this deck are queens. Queen of Coins, it has a rebuilding yourself energy to it. Like, not allowing whatever happened to be the be-all, end-all of things. Just regaining your own worth kind of energy. Now, this is earth energy, so this could be a different person coming along and helping you through this. But it really doesn't feel like it. It really feels more of like kind of healing yourself. I don't know. I often find the Queen of Pentacles to be a person who can kind of pull themselves back up on their own. Not that they have to, but kind of that's just what they do, because more often than not, they find themselves wanting to take care of other people. And I feel like it kind of has a little bit of like a Virgo energy where like they want to be of service to others, but they don't want to need other people to be of service to them kind of thing. Like they like to be needed. They don't want to need other people in a sense. Like that's kind of what's coming through. So it might just be in the process of healing whatever this energy is, whether it is an old relationship or whether it's something else. You come to this point where you're just kind of like, do I really need someone? Like, if I can do everything on my own, do I really need to rely on someone? Do you know what I mean? I'm looking back at that Seven of Swords and the King of Cups that are up there, and it's kind of finding your compassion again after all of the Seven of Swords stuff. Well, like if it was lying, if it was cheating, if it was stealing, that sort of thing. It's kind of like finding your capacity to love again is what this feels like, which I know can be a little difficult. But it's almost as though like when you make this decision to leave, whenever this leaves your life, like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air almost. July is Seeker of Swords. Seekers in this deck are pages. Page of Swords can often be gossip. It can often be someone keeping an eye on you, you keeping an eye on someone else. I'm getting a couple different versions of this energy. Like, I gotta say, after I moved on from these few cards up here, my eye stopped hurting, and when I picked this back up, it kind of picked up again. So part of this energy is from this past person for some of you, probably keeping an eye on you, probably asking for gossip, probably spreading some gossip. But I think the other energy I'm getting is kind of like being aware that people are keeping an eye on you and not really caring. This bird says to me that you're kind of soaring above whatever's being said about you, that it's not even on your radar because you're so much better, so much more confident kind of energy that it doesn't even matter to you anymore, whatever this person is saying. August is interesting though, because we're faced here with the Two of Swords, which is a decision to make. It's often a very difficult decision. There's often some confusion that comes along with it. Now, I do have to say here, with this blindfold across this skull, it's crossing where the eyes would normally be, but there's still an eye above it. And that's your third eye. That's your inner knowing. That's your intuition eye. And the fact that it's coming up underneath the moon here, even though that's February, just it feels as though the energy is tied in a way of kind of remembering how this felt and trying to move forward past that in a way. So I almost feel like with this Page of Swords and this Two of Swords, it's almost like messages might be coming in from this past person. What is this Two of Swords, please? Knight of Swords. What else? Again, these, yeah, it's the same three cards from earlier, the Five of Cups, the Hangman, and the Chariot. This time with the Magician at the bottom of the deck. It definitely has the energy of this past person. And like I said before, remembering how they made you feel, remembering how difficult it was to move forward, remembering the stuckness of things. And I think choosing with the Knight of Swords that that's not the way things are going to be anymore. Deciding that, no, you're moving on, you're moving forward, and this is your life. It's a motorcycle, you control the direction. Okay? That's what that feels like. Which is a good energy. It obviously ends up being difficult, and if this means cutting this person out of your life, it still ends up being the best option for you, because it's I want to say the healthiest option, honestly. Now there is the Seeker of Wands here, which is again a page, so Page of Wands. This person could, with this envelope, still trying to get in contact with you. They could be blowing up your inbox. I get the feeling that you're just not caring. I get the feeling that you've kind of, for some of you, you've done a cord cutting ceremony, because I do get like a set, like burn that bridge, set it on fire, leave it behind energy. And Page of Wands to me often feels like an adventure, right? Going in something new. You've got a youthful look at things. There's a freshness. There's a playfulness to things. So it's almost just like, no, I was right the first time. The Eight of Cups. Like, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to get out of here. We're just going to keep going. And I'm going to forget about this person and whatever shit they have going on in their life. Now, again, the card comes underneath the Devil. So I do feel like this person is still going to try and keep that link to you. So I do feel that a cord cutting ceremony might not be the worst decision you could make, especially if this person keeps popping up at you. We do have Seven of Cups coming next in October. And it has the feeling to me of the world being at your fingertips almost. Like, now that you've set yourself free, you can go whichever direction you want. But there's so many choices you're not really sure where to go. This could also be setting yourself back up to date again. Like, this Two of Swords could also be should I do it? Am I ready? That kind of thing. And the Page of Wands is like, yeah, no, let's do it. Like, I'm not going to let this person hold me back. I'm just going to move forward, and deciding to get yourself back out in the dating world. And Seven of Cups could be dating apps, right? Or it could just be a bunch of different dates, but it does kind of feel like opening yourself up to the options that are before you. And I don't really feel like the struggle to make a decision anymore. It's kind of like once that decision's made, you're just like, no, this is it. This is good. I'm just going to roll with it because this is working kind of energy. And with this Strength card in November, it feels as though you're kind of back into your own skin. I want to say, like, anything that anyone says isn't getting to you. You've found your happiness again. Again, it comes underneath the sun. So it kind of leads into that being like, okay, whatever that past person said was totally wrong, totally mistaken. I am worth whatever, like, way more than what they said I was, that kind of thing. It's almost like regaining your self-worth and realizing that you can conquer anything, which I really like that. And it's also kind of realizing that other people don't need to control you. Other people no longer can control you because, again, you decide where you want to go. You have all of these options. So if it doesn't align with someone else, if what they're trying to impose on you doesn't align with what you want, you're just saying fuck it and you're just going, which is a real badass kind of energy. And what this leads to in December is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of like looking out into your future. It's a little bit of planning, but threes are also action and expansion. So it's kind of like taking those first steps into something new. I'm going to clarify. What is this Three of Wands, please? I like this. Bottom of the deck, you have Four of Swords, and underneath that, you have the Wheel. So it kind of has a feeling of time heals all wounds, and also just kind of a feeling that luck is turning a little bit. You've done the work to heal yourself. Now, we did get Nine of Swords, but we also got the King of Cups, which, again, it came out at the bottom of the deck. Ruler of Cups is the King of Cups in the Weaver deck. Nine of Swords is still being a little bit worried about taking those first steps. There is a little bit of apprehension, but with the King of Cups here, it's just kind of just feeling more like, no, this is good. I've got this. Like, nothing that has happened is going to be any worse than what happened before, and I handled that. I did that all right. So it's, I mean, there might be a little bit of hesitation with this Nine of Swords, a little bit of is now the right time kind of energy, because Three of Wands is also, like, while it might be a card of the future and stepping into the future and everything, it is also one of those cards that's just kind of like, is now the right time? Like, that kind of energy, you know? But that's mostly just this Nine of Swords talking. I want to say it's not really real, right? It's not the truth. It's, okay, there's all of these black birds, these negative thoughts, right? There's 8 of them. There's one white bird here that is trying to get through. And that, I want to say, that's the voice of reason. That's the voice of light, right? It's trying to break through all of these negative thoughts to pull yourself out and keep moving forward. Just the fact that one is there means that there is still hope, right? Like, things can still be okay. And I think deep down you know that. So even though love this year does seem like it hits a few hurdles, I think in the end you come out better for it. Even if the Sun and the Sovereign of Coins here ends up being a new person in your life, even if it ends up being that you're not together quite yet, the future isn't set in stone, right? If this person ends up meaning a lot to you, as long as they're in your life, there's a possibility, unless you've discussed things and both of you agree that no, there isn't. But that's okay because you've both decided, right? But again, tarot isn't set in stone. The future isn't set in stone. The only real struggle I see after leaving this person is when they come back. Because, I mean, the 6 up here, like, they've come back before. It kind of feels like they come back again, like they're a reoccurring theme in your life, almost. But I get the feeling that you're breaking that cycle. I get the feeling with this 3 of Wands, you're making plans to move forward, and they don't include that person at all. They include your own happiness, right? And your own feeling of self-worth, your ability to take care of yourself and others, those who deserve it, right? Which is a really good energy. So it's maybe not all the love, happiness, and 12 puppies that everyone hopes for, but overall I still think it's a pretty decent message. Let's get you some oracle cards. We have the Spirit Animal Oracle for Sagittarius in love for 2022, please. Interesting. Bottom of the deck, and Spirit, time to collaborate. It feels like if you have friends who are telling you this person is trash, they might have a point. Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. That's the card that came out for you. Okay. So, and I think on some level you know that. I think you've built this support system for a reason. It's just something this person says and does with the Devil here is a little bit intoxicating, right? It's kind of, it draws you in. That's just the nature of the Devil, right? Moonology for Sagittarius in love for 2022, please. Oh, I thought for sure one of them was going to fall out. It did not. There we go. Give me the card. Oh, there's 2 cards. I like that. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer is really good. It's, I think, this person and like the moving forward, as this card says, don't let your past hold you back, which is always good advice. This person is in your past for a reason, despite the fact that they do keep trying to come back through. Okay, we also have for you Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle for Sagittarius in love for 2022, please. That one came out quick. The other signs got this. But it's been a couple days since I did like the first 3 quarters of the zodiac that I don't remember who. Your card is the Eyes of Beauty, positive expectations and clarity. I think for sure you will be getting a lot of clarity this year, especially in regards to this person. I think you'll see and realize whatever lesson it is that you've been meant to learn. it kind of feels as though you're finally learning it, and it gives the feeling that a karmic cycle is breaking, which I like. It might not be fully broken come this year or even by the end of it. Like, some things karmic related do take time. So it might take a couple years, it might take a couple months. Who knows? It varies for everyone. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. If this resonated, please drop a like down below. Lets me know as a tarot reader I've tapped into your energies, which is very important. I do aim to give the most accurate messages that I possibly can. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, there are general 2022 readings for each sign already up, so go find that if you'd like to watch them. And yeah, I really hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.